through this entire class. If you feel there's something you would like to say or put in the chat, please go ahead and do that. Remember, I've never seen y'all, so I don't know the connection between your name and a face. So it would be nice to at least have a message from y'all so that I know who are the people in this class. So please feel free. It would be great if I could see the chat constantly moving up, and I'll give me the responsibility to manage to follow it. So as you guys can see on your screen, if y'all could just confirm with a Y or a yes that y'all can see my screen, that would be helpful, because this is the first time I'm using Zoom to teach. I used to use Google Meet. All right, thank you so much, Chan, Sahil, and Aarti, for letting me know. Thank you, Muskan and Sanya. All right, so y'all can see my screen. In today's session, I have divided it into 4 parts, as you can see on the screen. The last part, as you can see, is chapter 2 of your 10th standard geography textbook. Why are we doing chapter 2? Why are we not doing chapter 1 first? All of that I will let you know. But before that, I'll quickly, already Siddharth sir has done the job, but I'll give you an introduction for myself. I will let you know of my experience, and as much as I can, my students' experience of 10th standard being online, right? Last year, and give you an introduction to the 10th standard geography textbook. So these are the 4 things that I will cover. I'll start with the first, which is my introduction. As Siddharth sir has already introduced, my name is Aditya Krishnan, and I joined Teach for India in 2014. So as he said, yes, it has been 7 years, a long 7-year journey. When I joined, I started teaching a 4th standard classroom in a community called Malvani in Malad. Some of you may have heard it. So I started teaching my students when they were in the 4th standard. That would, after the teaching them in the 4th standard, I ended my journey by teaching them in grade 10 last year. So this 7-year journey has helped me. I have been fortunate to teach these students from 4th to the 10th standard. The subjects that I taught, as Siddharth sir said, I taught quite a few combinations from 4th standard to 10th standard, initially with phonics, EVS, then maths, then English and SST, but mainly I have been teaching English and SST in the last 2 years. These are the 2 subjects that I've taught when I taught my students in grade 9 and grade 10. So this is some basic information about me, and I hope that at some point I can meet you all in your classrooms in an ideal situation, which I'm sure Siddharth sir is also hoping for very eagerly. But yes, this is my introduction. I will keep it short because hopefully I'll get to interact with you all later as well. The second thing that I wanted to cover, and in case any of you all have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Don't wait for me to ask you. Put it down. I'll make sure that I try and follow it in the chat box. Okay. The second thing that I'd like to talk to all of you about, which is something that I feel all the students of your batch, all the students who are now in 10th standard like you, has to know about and believe to the best of their ability, is what is the experience of doing 10th standard in our situation. This is not a normal experience where you all have to do your 10th standard exam with a year of online virtual education. So I will tell you a little bit of how the last year was for us, for me and my students. The first thing that I want to tell you all, which is on screen, is nothing is fixed, nothing is guaranteed. In a year like this, what I have learned as a teacher and what my students learned in a very hard way is that anything can be happening, anything can happen, anything can be decided, and we have to manage. So last year we were told, मैं school में नहीं पढ़ा सकता हूँ. Suddenly syllabus was cut. Suddenly we were told that we cannot take exams. Suddenly we were told that practical exam hoga. Then we were told practical exam nahi hoga. Then we were told board exam postpone hoga. and then board exam के एक महीने पहले we were told board exam होगा ही नहीं. So anything can happen, which is why all of you need to understand that for you to be prepared, you just need to do your work regularly, so that all these things जो बाहर हो रहा है, they don't affect my education. So for example, I had many students last year जो नहीं पढ़ रहे थे. They kept telling me school जब खुलेंगे तब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, prelim exam जब होगी तब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. And I kept trying to explain to them that don't do this because it is not going to open, right? But no one could believe थोड़ी ना पूरा साल ऐसे जाने वाला है, and the full year has gone, right? Now many people might be thinking कि ये साल थोड़ी ना पूरा साल, ये साल भी जाएगा. We don't know. There is a high chance that this year can also be like this. So my suggestion to all of you is, please do not take the risk of waiting for that day when things will be normal, when things will go back to sitting in school and studying. Do not wait for that. All right. This is not a year where y'all can do that. Now, I don't know how many of y'all know, but the board decided a way of giving my students marks. उनका 10th का result कैसे हम लोग decide करेंगे? 9th standard से कुछ marks लो, 10th standard में जो भी मैंने exam लिया उधर से कुछ marks लो, और finally उनका percentage decide होगा. अब मेरे इतने सारे students, so many of them did not study. Why? Because they were waiting कि जब school खुलेगी तब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. And like that only they just kept giving the tests and exams without studying. Now I have to use those marks, and those marks are going to decide their 10th standard final result. And it is such a big disadvantage for them. Now they are regretting. So the one thing that I would like to tell you all, and I'm not sure how many of you all have seen this line, if anyone can remember, this is a line from a poem from your 9th standard textbook. If anyone can recall which poem or where did you, if you have read it, kaun se poem se ye aaya hai? Yes, Prachi, good job. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. My message to you all is that you have control over your learning. You have your teacher who's teaching you. Whatever you can do, keep doing. There are 1,000 things which will keep changing this year around you. Do your job. That's all. And the reason I say this is because you do your work now, you will not have to worry later. So in my class, there are some students who from day one just kept doing the work. So I used to give pre-work, like I think Siddharth sir also gives, give pre-work, give some work after class. They used to keep doing it. Obviously, some days they would not manage, but they would cover up. Very soon they would catch up. Those students right now are relaxed because their marks, they have also studied for it. So they're not stressed as much. Okay, so please do not wait for something to happen. Please prepare from now so that you don't worry later. That is my main message for you all, which me and my students learned in a very hard way. हमने गलती करके हमने सीखा है. My suggestion to you guys is don't make the mistake. All right. So as and when you all are getting the chance to learn, learn. Don't think that we will start later. Okay. If I can just get a yes, a confirmation, something from everyone, just to see the chat rolling, because a lot of people have joined in, so I can get to know some more names. A thumbs up
Yes,
or a
sir.
yes. Thank you, Chance. Thank you.
Aditya,
Thank
they also
Yes.
use the reactions. They use the thumbs up. Are you able to see the thumbs up?
In the chat, right?
No, on the participant list.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. I will just fix that. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for the thumbs ups. This helps. Great. So now we come to the third thing, which I want to tell you all, which is an introduction to the grade 10 geography textbook. I am not sure how many of you all have it. I am not sure how many of you all have looked at it. But before we start, you all should know, what is this textbook about? This full textbook, what are we going to learn? So let's take a look at the list of the chapters. All right. In your grade 10 textbook, what are the different chapters that you have? We will take a look at that. In this full textbook, everyone, in this full textbook, you are going to compare and contrast. Yes, Chand, you're going to compare and contrast India and Brazil. It's only, not just mainly, Chand, it is only about India and Brazil. In the chat, if some of you all can tell me, what do you understand by compare and contrast? I think when you've studied English, or what we've called RC, reading comprehension, you may have read these words, compare and contrast. So if in the chat, you all could tell me, what do you understand by it? Agar hame compare or contrast karna hai, then what am I doing? Okay, Chand says differentiate. Okay, waiting for more responses. What is the meaning of compare and contrast? Okay, Ankit says different between both objects. Great. All right, that's one part of it. I'm looking for another part also. So Chand and Ankit, I think, have covered similar things. Aman says together. Aman, if you can explain to me, what do you mean by together? Yes, Prachi, I think you've got the other part of it, which is difference and similarities. Okay, when we are comparing and when we are doing a contrast, we are trying to figure out दो चीज में between two things, what is the difference and also what are similarities. Yes, Alfia, what is similar and different both. Okay, now if I ask you why are we choosing the country India, I think that's an easy answer. We are from this country, we should have basic knowledge about the country we live in. So that's fine. Why is India in this textbook? We can understand that. But why do we have Brazil? There are so many countries on this planet. Why Brazil? So in your textbook, in one of the pages, there are these points that I have put down on your screen. These are points that the textbook has mentioned as to why they chose Brazil. And I will quickly go over them to give you an idea. So the first point says that the country should not be very developed or underdeveloped. So India is a country which is not completely developed. India is a country which is not completely underdeveloped. They wanted a country with that similar kind of mix. That is how the people creating the textbook were thinking. They wanted a country which had some similarities as well as differences, because we need to compare and contrast. They didn't want the countries to be completely different or exactly the same, which is very difficult to find, but there has to be some similarity. Yes, Prachi, there has to be some similarities between the countries. Also, if you look down in the points, there is one point which says they have to have some similarity in the historical background. Both the countries, their history, they have to have some similarity. And in this class, we will see India and Brazil. Between them, what is the historical similarity? The last point is something that's very important. The application of the concepts taught till class 9 can be applied on the same level to both the countries. So not only class 9, you've learned a lot of concepts in geography in class 8 and in class 9. They wanted to find another country where the concepts we can use for India and that other country. So all these concepts you have learned, we can apply these concepts using these two countries to learn it or understand it better. So that is why they chose Brazil. Okay, it's important for you all to understand this, because like I think Chand mentioned earlier, the entire textbook is just about these two countries and all different concepts that you have learned about connected to these two countries. All right, so this is the introduction to this textbook. Why have they chosen Brazil? It's because of these few similarities and differences that make it easy to compare. All right. So let's look at the chapters. All right. I'll show you the chapters on your left. You can see the grade 10 chapters. There are 9. Each chapter, as and when you all learn this chapter, once your actual teacher comes in, you will see that each chapter connects with the next chapter. तो अगर आपने पहला चैप्टर सही से नहीं किया, दूसरा चैप्टर सही से नहीं किया, then the third chapter might be confusing. It's like maths, right? So when Siddharth sir is teaching you maths, if you've missed the first part, usually it is difficult to understand the later parts because they are connected, right? So when you are learning geography, make sure you are understanding the concepts from the beginning because they connect from one chapter to the other. Now, the last point in the previous slide said that a lot of 9 standard you're going to be connecting to 10 standard. So let's figure that out. First, I'd like y'all in the chat to tell me any chapter you can remember, the name of a chapter from 9 standard. Can you please put it in the chat? Any 9th standard chapter that you can remember. And I'd love to see more people share. I'm just asking for the name of the chapter that you can remember from geography, right? From geography, Ankit. Okay, properties of seawater, tourism. Yes, Chan, tourism. Waiting for some more. Ankit Gupta, something connected to land. Okay. Chan says economy, international dateline. Aarti says trade, distribution maps, tourism. All right. Yes, Ankit also says trade. Anything else that y'all can recall?
Gravitation.
Gravitation, did you study gravitation in geography or maybe science? Maybe science, I think. Precipitation, yes, precipitation. So let's take a look. I'll put the list on the screen. Let's take a look on the screen. Transportation and communication, yes, Khadija. All right. So y'all learned distributional maps. Now, what we are going to do is, the people who have created the textbook are saying, जो भी आपने 9th standard में पढ़ा है, you will see connections of that with your 10th standard chapters. So let's see what connection can we see right now. So I will tell you for the first chapter, you guys are going to try and make the connection for the second and after that. So distributional maps, from what I remember, I think you all learned about choropleth, isopleth, and dot method maps, if I'm not wrong. Can you all confirm with me? Yes? Okay, thank you. I'm also now seeing the thumbs ups. Okay, great. Yes, so you all learned about these different types of maps. Now, if you look at the 10 standard chapters on the left, you will see chapters like population, climate. In climate, you will learn about temperature, rainfall. And in this chapter, there will be a map which shows you कौन सी जगह में कितना rainfall होता है, कैसा temperature है. All these chapters are going to use different distributional maps. In your 10th standard textbook, you will see a variety of distributional maps. So your knowledge of choropleth hai, dot method hai, isopleth hai, these are very, very useful for whatever you study in 10th standard. Okay. If we look at the next 3 chapters that you learned in 9th standard, endogenic movements, and you had 2 chapters on exogenic movements. Now, we have not looked at the 10th standard textbook chapters in detail, but anyone can take a guess which chapter do you think these 3 chapters connect with from whatever you can understand. So I think endogenic movements, exogenic movements, about movements on the surface and inside the earth. So what could it be connected with? You have chapters from 1 to 9. You can basically type a number also, and that's fine. As a guess. Any guesses from you guys? If you all remember from last year, okay, Khadija says climate. She's guessing climate. Tushar is guessing the 2nd chapter. Sahil guesses chapter 8, which is economy and occupations. Chand is guessing 4. All right. Aarti is guessing the second chapter again, location and extent. Yes, in some way it can connect with location and extent. Ankit is saying with the weather, it does indirectly connect with the weather. Human settlements, that's also interesting. Yes, human settlements also have a connect with the surface of the earth as well. If we look at the left side and we look at the third chapter, and there is a word physiography. This word physiography, does any word come to your mind connected to this word? Physiography. What word do you think?
Geography.
Very good.
Geography.
Okay, geography. And the first part of it, the physio part of it, okay, physics. Khadija says physics. Any other close to that as well? So perfect, we got one is geography, of course. Physical, great. Alfia says physical. So physiography in chapter 3, physiography means you're learning about the physical nature of what? Of India and Brazil. Okay, so all these things that you learned in chapter 2, 3, and 4 in 9th standard, you might be able to connect it in the physiography chapter of chapter 3. All right, so like this, let's quickly try and make some more connections and then move ahead. This should be easy. Precipitation, which chapter can you connect it to? From to the 10th standard syllabus. You can just give me the chapter number also. If you remember precipitation, you had about snow, hail, rainfall. Yes, it definitely connects to vegetation. And yes, great. A lot of you have some Khadija Chand has messaged. It connects to climate as well, right? So whatever you learned in precipitation directly connects to the climate chapter, where you will be seeing what is the nature of the climate in Brazil and in India. Okay, quickly now let's do it a little faster. Properties of seawater. Before we go into this, there is next to physiography, there is a word drainage. Now this does not literally mean जो gutter है roads के side में, but this means rivers, seas, which in a way has the same logic. All the rivers, sea, oceans of the world, you can also call them the drainage system. All right. So like someone mentioned before, yes, properties of seawater, yes, it connects with the third chapter. Okay. In the properties of seawater, you learned about a lot of things. It's not all of those in detail, but in general, it can be connected to that. What about, okay, international date line, we will learn today how it connects, but can you all try and connect it? Anything you all remember? Which chapter could it be connected to? International date line, where I think you learned about longitudes, time difference. Great. Location and extent, definitely. When we do the chapter today, you will see that there are a lot of connections. You might have to remember, recall a lot of things. Yes, Chan, correct. Anything else? Do you all remember the time sums that you all did in international dateline? I think if I am traveling from one country to another country, what is the time in the other country? Some things like this were done. And that can be connected to the 9th chapter of, yes, good job, Prachi. The 9th chapter of 10th standard, which is tourism and transport. Okay. Quickly, I will show you on the screen the remaining chapters of 9th standard. So you have economics, trade, urbanization, transport, tourism, communication. I think all of you all can clearly see that there are a lot of connections between the two. I think you all can definitely see some chapters directly being connected. I'm going to give you all a minute. From the remaining chapters, can you point out some connections, and then we'll move on? Just so that I'm sure that some of you all are being able to do that. Point out some more connections between the 9th standard chapters and the 10th standard chapters. If you want to unmute, if someone wants to unmute and say also, you can do that. Okay, so Sahil says 11 and 9. Yes, very directly. Chapter 11 from the 9th standard textbook and chapter 9 from the 10th standard textbook. There is a clear connection between the two. Khadija says Introduction to Economics and Economy and Occupation. Prachi says the same. 11 and 8, yes, occupation and you have economy, very strong connection. If you look at urbanization, I'm not sure how many of you all remember what urbanization is, but the moving of population from rural to urban areas, population, human settlements, a lot of connection. Great. A lot of you all are bringing out, yes, Ankit, Alfia, you both are correct. Prachi, yes, urbanization and human settlements. Great. I think it's safe to say that y'all are being able to see that there are many connections between 9th standard and 10th standard for geography. Can we agree on that? That there are a lot of them? Yes, Alfia, you're correct as well. Thank you, Tushar. Yes, I'm getting a lot of, I'm seeing the thumbs ups as well also now. I'm also getting used to this, but correct. So one thing that y'all must understand that the concepts are all being picked up from your 9th standard. And now we are going to use those concepts and focus primarily, mainly on India and Brazil. Okay, that is the reason why I thought it is very important for us to spend some time pointing out what are the connections, because it's important for you all to know that suddenly we are not learning about India and Brazil about these things. There is some connection. Okay, so we've covered my introduction. We've covered the experience of online grade 10. We've got a brief idea of this year geography. What are we studying, right? Now let's come into the first chapter that I am going to teach you. This is not the first chapter in your 10th standard textbook. If all of y'all can see, can some of y'all please confirm that you can see one red laser like thing flying around? So that I just know that y'all can see. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So this chapter of field visit, the first chapter of field visit, this is the one chapter which is not connected to any other chapter. It's a small chapter. It's just about, y'all know what a field visit is. Everyone going together to one place to learn about that place. It's a very, very simple chapter. So that's why I felt that the first main chapter is location and extent. Okay, location and extent is the first main chapter. Okay, so we will start with that. I will just move to the next slide. In this chapter, we are going to compare India and Brazil on the most basic things, very, very basic things. Now, those of you all, Siddharth sir sent me the pre-work that some of you all have done. And I think those of you all who did it would have realized that we are going to learn some very, very basic things about these two countries before we start learning the details. Okay, so we're learning very basic things. The reason why this chapter is important is because it sets up a base. So when you see a building, uska jo pillar rehta hai niche, all right, that is the foundation, that is the base. Without that, the building will not stand. The same way, you need to have this chapter in your mind throughout the year so that you can understand every other chapter. Okay. This chapter, I will be dividing it into 4 parts. So you have location, extent, the historical background, and the last and final thing is some features, some facts about these countries. 4 things that we're going to do. All right. Divided this chapter into 4 simple parts. The first 2 parts of location and extent are the ones which are the most important to understand. It can be a little tricky, but they're concepts which can be done if we just pay attention and focus. Okay, so let's begin. First, what are these words? I'd like you all to tell me what is the meaning of location, what is the meaning of extent. I'd like you all to tell me in the chat if someone would like to unmute themselves, they can do that as well. Your guess. What do you mean by location? And what do you mean by extent? Ankit, I think you're raising your hand. Please go ahead.
Sir, location is that we can find our place where we have to go.
Okay. Any guess for extent? No? Okay, so you're saying location you feel is where we have to go. You need to find that place. Alfia says location is place. Prachi says extent is geographical boundaries. Correct. Anyone else with some guesses or some ways to explain? If I were to ask you the difference. Okay, Khadija says location is a place where something is located. Okay, and if I were to push you, Khadija, to tell me located, what do you mean by that? Aarti says extent is size. Okay, that's also another way to try and explain it. Extent is size. Anyone else? Would like to take a someone who'd like to attempt to explain to me the difference between the two? Yes, Ankit.
Extent mean size.
Okay.
What
So you
is
also
the size? Like, can I give the example?
yeah, sure. Go for it.
What is the size of your room?
Great. So you're saying that then I will have to, if I have to answer your question, if I have to answer Ankit's question, I will have to tell him the extent of my room if I'm explaining the size. Great. Khadija says it is the area covered. All right. So you guys have got the basic idea. So let me, for anyone who's confused, let me make it simple. So as some of y'all said, location basically means the position of something. All right. The exact position of something. And if any of you are agreeing, disagreeing, please let me know in the chat. Feel free to do that. You don't have to stay silent and wait for me to ask you something. Okay. So location is the position of something. If I have to ask a question, I will ask where, right? Where is this? Or if I have to make it simpler in Hindi, if I ask kahan, I am going to tell you the location. Right? So location means the position of something, or where is something, or kahan hai ye. Can I just get thumbs up or a yes in the chat to let me know that you're clear the meaning of location? If someone does not understand, then let me know. All right, I've got around 7, 8 thumbs ups and some yeses in the chat. Okay, I'm going to assume that others, I hope to see more thumbs ups and yes and participation, right? Great. So we are understanding location. Location is clear, the position of something. Now we come to extent, okay? If I were to make it simple, and one of y'all said this as well, extent means the area covered by something, okay? Now, if I were to make this simpler in English, I would say from where to where. From where to where is this place? That is the extent. If I were to translate that in Hindi, I would say kahan se kahan tak, right? So location is telling me ki kahan hai ye cheez ya ye jagah. Extent is telling me कि कहां से कहां तक है ये चीज या ये जगह. Can I get confirmations from y'all that if someone asks you, y'all will be able to explain the difference clearly to anybody in any way? The difference between location and extent clear to everyone? I've got 2 thumbs ups and Alfia has given me a yes plus thumbs up. Thank you, Chan, for letting me know. All right. So now that we've got some understanding, okay, this is the meaning of location. This is the meaning of extent. There are a few things that I asked you all to do in your pre-work. I'm not sure how many of you all saw the video, but I'll go over it very, very quickly. Okay. Do you guys recall this? You would have definitely done it last year in some chapter or the other. Longitudes and latitudes. You would have definitely done this somewhere. Any recollection from you guys? Yes, some of y'all are giving me a thumbs up. Yeah, lines of longitude, latitude. You would have seen this in the international dateline chapter. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap. On the left side, you will see lines of latitude. Now, can you guys tell me in the chat, and I will wait for at least 10 answers. On the left side, where it's written lines of latitude, the white lines that you see, are those lines vertical or horizontal? On the left side, the white lines, जो white lines है, are those lines vertical lines or are those lines horizontal lines? Take a guess, because there is confusion. Many people have confusion about this, so take your guess. Khadija has given me her answer. Okay, I'm waiting for the others. Thank you, Aarti, for your answer. Don't worry about it being wrong. Many people, many students get confused in this. Ki vertical hai ya horizontal. I'd like some more answers from people. Thank you, Alfia. Prachi has given her answer. Waiting for more people. On the left side, are the white lines vertical or horizontal? Okay, we've got around 4, 5. All right, Krishna says horizontal. Okay. Waiting for a couple more responses. Even if you're not sure, it's fine. I would like to get an idea of what we are thinking. Okay, I'd ask Alfia. Alfia, if you could, can you unmute yourself and tell me why have you said that these lines are horizontal? What does that mean? Okay, you can't say. Anyone else who's given me answers, who would like to try and explain why did you say horizontal? What does that mean? That's all. You can unmute yourself, no problem. Maybe Prachi, if you could unmute yourself and tell me. Okay, Prachi, you sent me a message which is correct. So if you look at the left side, everyone, you will see lines. Yes, great, Khadija. You will see lines. If I were to explain it in a simple way, lines which are, say, sleeping, they're horizontal lines. All right. You will see latitude. Lines of latitude are lines which are horizontal. All right. We can say they're sleeping lines. There is one line which is marked in red, which is the equator. That is considered to be the one right in the middle. Okay. It divides the earth into two equal halves. If you look at the right side, now can you all tell me, the right side is showing lines of longitude.
Latitude.
Yes. Now on the right side, they're showing lines of longitude. These lines, can you tell me, are they vertical or are they horizontal? The lines on the right. Yes, thank you, Khadija. Thank you, Prachi, for your answer. Aarti.
Longitude.
Yes, these are longitude. And what are they? Are they vertical or are they horizontal?
Vertical.
Great, great. Yes, they are vertical. Thank you, Chand, also for giving in your answer. Yeah. Great. And you see one line, they are standing lines, Alfia. Great. You've tried to make it a simple logical way. So you see longitude standing lines. These are vertical. And the ones that you may say easy to remember, sleeping lines, those are latitudes and those are horizontal. A very important line of longitude, which you see marked in red, which is prime meridian, right? I think Prachi before this said that the equator is at 0 degrees. Same way, equator is 0 degrees latitude. When I look at the latitude, when I look at the longitude, right in the middle, it divides the earth into two parts, equal parts. Yes, that is 0 degree prime meridian. And we'll come to that. All right, we'll understand that. What you all need to know is you have lines of latitude and you have lines of longitude. Now, my question is, if you go out of your house, do you see these lines drawn on the roads? if you go out of your house or if you go out right now, will you see lines like this drawn on the roads? No, Sahil says no. Aditya says no. Great. A lot of them are saying no. Prachi says yes. These are imaginary lines. These are invisible lines. Okay. Now let's understand then what is it? Why do we have these? Suppose I combine. So you have lines which are horizontal. You have lines which are vertical. अगर मैंने इन दोनों को combine किया, okay, you will see horizontal lines and vertical lines. Can you tell me these kind of lines? Can you tell me where else have you seen them? In any other, say, subject, if I were to give you a clue. Lines which are going horizontal, lines which are going vertical. Have you seen these anywhere else? Yes, Prachi, I will come to what you've sent me. Have you seen anywhere else these lines in any other subject? Can you think of it? I'm quite sure you have seen it. Okay, Prachi says math. Can you all tell me where in math have you seen it? Why have you seen it in math? Yes. Chand Rakesh has also said maths. Yeah. Yes, Shraddha, thank you so much for messaging. You're saying bar graphs. Y'all have all used that green paper. Sometime or the other, you have seen that green paper which has lines, vertical lines and horizontal lines, which we call graph paper. Yes, I'm getting some thumbs ups as well. Everyone at some point has seen that, and hopefully most of us have also used it. Now, why do you use that paper? What is the use? And I'd like someone to unmute and tell me, what is the use of that paper? Anyone would like to try to unmute and tell me?
To
Yes,
show the
Siddharth.
bar. To show the bar of something.
To show the bar of something, okay, to make a graph, some people are saying. Siddharth sir is saying coordinate geometry. Can you guys tell me coordinate geometry? What are you all doing in coordinate geometry? What do you do on that graph? What are you marking?
We use pencil and scale and mark the located things.
Okay, you mark a located thing. I think you were very close, Ankit, to giving me that word. What do you to show the quantity? Okay, number lines on the graph paper, right? You end up marking a particular point. Can I say that?
Midpoint.
Yes, you mark some midpoint or some kind of point. Everyone in agreement with me? When I use the graph, I am marking, sometimes I use that to mark a point, those lines. If I remove the lines, why do I need the lines? Let me remove the lines. What is the problem? I'll make the graph without the lines. What is the problem?
We cannot find the lines.
Yes, Chandra, Rakesh, can you repeat louder, please?
We cannot find the lines in the graph easily.
Okay, you cannot find.
Imaginary.
Okay, you cannot find the lines. 1 second, I've just missed some.
We cannot find the midpoint and we cannot find the located things.
Okay, Ankit says we cannot find the midpoint. We won't get the proper quantity I see in the chat. We won't get the proper measurement. Aarti, I think you're going to say something. No? Okay. We will not be sure, right? Great. All of you are saying the correct things. If I don't have, great Shraddha, we will not get exact point or measure. If I don't have those lines, I will not get the exact point, right? I will not get that exact point. The same way.
I will not get how we have to reach over there. I will lose.
Perfect, perfect. Ankit is trying to make the connection now to geography. So the same way, these are imaginary lines. We don't see these lines on the road. So humans who have studied this have said, if we do this, imagine if I put a graph paper all around the earth, then I can get any point on the earth. So my lines of longitude and my lines of latitude, their job is to do that. to give me any point on the earth. All right, they're not real that I can see them on the roads, but as humans, we have created this so that it's easier for us to understand not only location, but as you study the remaining chapters, climate also we are able to understand better. We're able to understand time also better. Okay, so this is a very basic concept that I purposely wanted to spend some extra time on. Everyone feeling a little comfortable about line of longitude hai kya, line of latitude hai kya, और वो है ही क्यों? Why is it there? Everyone has some idea to answer this question. Okay, I'm getting some thumbs ups in the chat. I'm waiting for others to just let me know. Okay, thank you, Aarti. All right, so we have some idea now of lines of longitude, lines of latitude. Thank you, Chanda. This is something, a diagram of the important lines of latitudes. I think I'm hoping that all of y'all are not seeing this for the first time. Sometime before, I'm sure y'all have seen this diagram to see Arctic Circle, Tropic of Cancer, Equator, all of these. I'm really hoping that y'all have seen them. This is very important. Siddharth sir, I forgot to add this in the pre-work. Please make sure I will, if we can add it, because in their notebook, this should just be there on a page to refer to throughout the year. So all of y'all, I will ask Siddhartha to send this, and please make sure you have this in your notebook because you will need to refer to it throughout the year. So these are some important lines of latitude. Now, as y'all can see, you have the equator right in the middle. So that's 0 degree. What number do you see next to the Tropic of Cancer? Just to check if you all are being able to read this correctly, if you all can let me know. Tropic of Cancer.
23.5.
Yes, 23.5. And there is an N next to it.
Yeah.
And what is that N denoting? Thank you, Khadija. That great. A lot of answers coming in the chat. That N is denoting north, and obviously S will denote south. Great. So these are the important lines of latitudes, which soon you will understand why we need to know about. Okay, keep this in your mind. As we keep going north, you can see Arctic Circle is 66 north. As we keep going down, Antarctic Circle is 66 south. So we start at the equator and we have these lines throughout, if we say our globe, so that we can understand this better. Okay, so keep this in your mind. I want to take you through the hemispheres. Now, I gave this in your pre-work and I got 2-3 of your responses, and most of you all have basically written the correct answer. On the right top corner, you will see north, south, east, and west. It is just for your reference. Anytime you get confused, whenever I'm discussing something or I am asking a question, just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's come to hemispheres. Let's understand this word. I will divide the word into 2 parts. First thing, the word hemi means half. Okay, the word hemi means half, and the word spheres means globe or circular shape. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen a globe. It's like a ball with the Earth's map around, the world map around it. That is a globe. So hemisphere means half a sphere. Okay, hemisphere means half a sphere. Now, our world, our full world is divided into 4 hemispheres. Now, I just told you that hemisphere is half. अगर मैं किसी चीज को half करूं, तो मुझे 2 हिस्से मिलेंगे. I will get 2 parts. Yes, if I take anything, I will get 2 parts. But here I am saying that the world is divided into 4 hemispheres. Why is that? How am I getting 4? Any guesses? Okay, great. Prachi has given me an answer. I'll wait for some more people to try before I read out Prachi's answer. I will repeat what I said. Hemisphere का मतलब है मैं किसी एक चीज को half करूं, मुझे एक हिस्सा मिलेगा, दूसरा हिस्सा मिलेगा. but I am saying पूरा दुनिया 4 हिस्से में divide कर सकते हैं, 4 hemispheres. What are these 4 hemispheres? Okay, now Prachi says the equator divides Earth into northern and southern. Prime meridian divides Earth into eastern and western. So she is correct. Khadija also is correct. So let's take a look at this. Okay. The world is divided into 4 hemispheres depending on 2 things. All right. Yes, Chand, I think you're also heading in the correct track. Depending on 2 things. Equator के हिसाब से and prime meridian के हिसाब से. So let's see what that is. Some of you might be so very confused. Let's see it. Okay. According to the equator, let me say this is my Earth. Okay, everyone just focus on the screen now. This is my Earth. This line, a line like this, can you all first tell me, is this a line of latitude or is this a line of longitude? In the chat, if everyone can tell me, is this a line of latitude or line of longitude? The red line. Okay, Prachi has given me her answer. Aarti has given me her answer, which is correct. Chand, think about it. Fiza, yes. Khadija has given an answer. Okay, good correction. Waiting for others. Is this a line of latitude or longitude? The red line. I'm sure there are more people than 10 in the class right now. This line which is sleeping. Yes. Everyone here, basically all are correct. The equator, this red line, it is a line of latitude. Okay. Yes, Karina. It is a line of latitude. Now, looking at this, you can see 2 parts. Everyone can see 2 parts. Upar niche, if I say it like that, the entire Earth, because of the equator, has been divided into 2 parts. What is the name for this? Which hemisphere is this? Some of you have already given the answer. Which hemisphere would this be? Where the arrow is? Yes, Aarti, Khadija,
Northern
Prachi.
hemisphere. Northern hemisphere.
Yes, yes, very good. Very simple. Northern hemisphere, and of course, the one below is going to be my southern hemisphere. Okay, so if I have to summarize this, equator ke hisab se, the Earth can be divided into northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Now with the same logic, okay, let's look at the prime meridian. Can you first tell me this line, which is the prime meridian, is latitude or longitude? Great, it's longitude. Now we are getting quicker. I'd like to see more people.
Longitude.
Great, Uncle. I'd like to see more people give those responses. Good. So we have the prime meridian. Now I have a division of the Earth, but left and right. Okay, I have a division of the Earth left and right. Look at the top right corner, refer to it if you get confused. What will be this side? This hemisphere? Great, great. Very simple things, just a recap. Yeah, great. This side, which I'm showing as an arrow, this will be my eastern hemisphere, and the other side is going to be my western hemisphere, right? Okay. Everyone clear? So if I have to summarize, agar mujhe isko pura summary mein dena hai, if I have to give it into one simple summary, please take 1 minute to see this image. Take 1 minute to see this image. On the left side and on the right side, see it carefully and try and explain to yourself कि ये क्यों हुआ, कैसे हुआ. See it very, very carefully. You should be very clear about this. Okay. So on the left side, can you tell me किसके हिसाब से northern and southern hemisphere हुआ है? According to what have we made it northern and southern?
Latitude.
Which latitude? Correct. A lot of people are giving it the answer in the chat. Your answer is correct.
Equator.
Latitude, yes. Yes, very good. According to the equator. And so, logically, on the right side, we have divided into 2 hemispheres according to the prime meridian. Correct. Khadija, you're correct, according to the prime meridian. That's why we have 4 hemispheres. We can understand the earth as per 4 hemispheres. All right. I'd like to pause here. Siddharth sir, I think you give them some time right now to just take a pause. Shall we do that now?
Yes, thank you for remembering that, Aditya. I never told you, but you remembered. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Students, please close your eyes. We are not going anywhere. We are sitting wherever we are. Let's close our eyes and slowly count backwards from 50 to 0. Don't run, walk slowly. Once you reach 0, send a reaction or send a text.
Right. Thank you, Siddharth sir. All right. So I'm going to resume. I hope you've got a little bit of a pause to refresh. So we've reached a point where we've understood 4 hemispheres, longitude, latitude. According to these things, we get 4 hemispheres. Now let's start applying this knowledge to India and Brazil slowly. Okay. First, take a good look. Everyone, take a good look. I'm giving you all 1 minute because I have a question later. Take a good look at this map. You can see the continents and you can see oceans. Focus on the continents for now. I'm giving you all 30 more seconds. You may be able to zoom your screen in yourselves, but just take a good look, a rough idea before I go to the next slide. There's North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia. Okay. Now let's look at another map. What you see in orange is, of course, India. What you see in green is Brazil. My question to you is, can you tell me which continents India and Brazil are in? I just showed you the continents. If you can recall the position, which continents are India and Brazil in? You can type that in the chat and let me know. Okay, I've got 1 answer. I've got 2 answers. Both are correct. 3 answers, all 3 correct. Yes. 4 answers. So far, we're all correct. I'll wait for some more. Yes. Prachi, Khadija, Chand, Tushar, Shraddha. Got your answer? Yes, thank you, Shraddha, for correcting the spelling yourself. I'll wait some more. Yes. So far, everyone who's answered, you all are correct. So now remembering these positions, if you look at this map, as you all have said, India lies in the continent of Asia and Brazil lies in the continent of South America. All right. If you look at it over here, this is where Brazil lies. And if you look at the red laser that's roaming around, this is where India lies. Okay. This line over here, if you all can follow, what is this line? I'm going to keep asking you this question so that it stays in your mind. What is this line that I am
prime meridian?
Very good. Thank you, Tushar, for answering. And
Prime meridian.
Yes, Ankit. Yes, Ankit, you all are correct. This is the prime meridian. And hence this line over here, yeah, equator. Okay. The reason I'm constantly asking you this again and again, because it is very important for this chapter and your coming chapters. Okay. To understand the area, to understand where these are. Okay. Now we get into to understand the location of these two countries very, very clearly. Okay. And now we will enter an activity which all of you, yes, Prachi, we will come to that, what you've just said in the chat. I will come to that soon. An activity which all of you are going to do. Okay. After I explain, now I need everyone to pay attention. Each person is going to do this individually. I will first explain it to you. After that, Siddharth sir is going to send you something in your WhatsApp group and you all will work on it. So first listen very carefully. There are 5 questions on your screen. You are going to answer these 5 questions using a map. And that map Siddharth sir will be sending to you. Okay. First, we will do this for India and I will help you step by step just in case. Then after that, you all will manage it on your own for Brazil in the class itself. All right. So the first thing, if I'm going to go through the questions, the first question asks, which important lines of latitude pass through the country? Okay, so India map, which important lines of latitude? You will look at the map and see. If you know the answer, great. The second question asks, according to the equator, which hemisphere is the country in? Equator के हिसाब से India कौन से hemisphere में है? According to the prime meridian, मतलब prime meridian के हिसाब से India कौन से hemisphere में है? And then I'm going to give you all 2 minutes to just read question 4 and 5. Everyone, 2 minutes on your own, just read question 4 and 5, and then I'll explain it. Can you please let me know with a reaction that you have read question 4 and 5? Okay, I've got 2 thumbs ups. I've got 2 more. Waiting for more thumbs ups coming. Yes, thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Aarti. Okay, many more thumbs ups coming. Great, great. Okay. So what you have to do is you will see the map. You have to tell me one country which is in the north of India, one country in the south of India, one country in the west of India, and one country in the east of India. This same thing you will do for oceans or seas. Okay. Now I'm going to only help you this much. What I want you all to do is try it out yourselves. You will get 5 minutes to write these answers in your notebook. After we come back, I will discuss the answers with you. I want to just first figure out how much you all are managing on your own. Okay, because I haven't taught you all before, so I want to get an idea. So Siddharth sir, if you could send them the map in their WhatsApp group right now, I will give all of you all 5 minutes, look at the map and try and answer these questions. First, does anyone have any doubt that you all want to ask me? Anything you have not understood? If you have understood, just put a thumbs up. If you know what you have to do, just show me a thumbs up as a reaction. Okay. Siddharth sir sending a map, India map. You will look at the India map. You will answer these 5 questions in your notebook. You have 5 minutes to do this. Okay, Siddharth sir has sent the map to you guys. 5 minutes, I will keep quiet. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Great. So what I'll do is, those of you who have sent me your responses, I am seeing that most of everything that you all have sent me is correct. Let's quickly go through this. Important line of latitude. Which is the important line of latitude that passes through India? And if you checked the map, zoomed in really detail, you would have probably seen it. But which is the line of latitude? It would have been written very, very lightly, maybe. Anyone was able to find that out? Khadija, thank you so much. Chand, the equator does not pass through India. The Tropic of Cancer, yes, Alfia, you're also correct. Tropic of Cancer passes through India. Okay, so if you all see the map very, very carefully, yes, can you all just confirm in the chat or as a thumbs up that you all can see the map on my screen? Okay, thank you. So if you see this map, I will try and zoom in a little. On the right side, you will see a small part where it says Tropic of Cancer. Could you confirm that y'all can locate it? Some people are giving me thumbs ups. Yes, y'all will see on the right side, Tropic of Cancer. And in the beginning, we saw one diagram which said 23.5 degrees north. This is the important line of latitude which passes through India. Okay. Now, if I think about it, equator ke hisab se, the second question says, according to the equator, which hemisphere is India in? Again, those who sent me your responses, you all were correct. So if I look at this, according to the equator, which hemisphere? Can the others please tell me in the chat? Shravani, would you like to share? According to the equator, which hemisphere is India in? Yes, Khadija, you're correct. According to equator, Sahil.
East.
Ankit, according to the equator. So that is where it can be a little confusing, right? So this is the equator.
North.
Yes,
North.
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 Yes, northern hemisphere, right? So equator ke hisab se, according to the equator, India is in the northern hemisphere. The third question asks you according to the prime meridian, right? According to the prime meridian, which hemisphere? Yes. India is in which hemisphere?
Northern East.
Only according to prime minister, but your prime meridian, sorry, you're correct, Ankit, eastern hemisphere, right? If I just look at the prime meridian, India is in the eastern hemisphere. And as you all are saying, northeastern. If I combine my answer, it says northeastern, which is also correct. Okay. Now, naming one country, north, south, east, and west. Those of you all have given me your answers. You all are correct. In the north, can you all name the country quickly in the chat? Let's see. Quickly type it out so that we can move ahead. I think this was easy for you all. Some of you all gave me your answers. Which country did you see in the north of India? Let's look at the map. Which country do you all see in the north of India? If you all can type that. Yes. Aditya, I asked you which country, right? Not which state. So Jammu and Kashmir is in India. Which country will you find to the north of India? Okay. I would say Afghanistan is to the west, but I'm guessing you are thinking northwest. That's fine. China is also fine. China is to the north of India. What about east? What about east? What answer have we given for east? I'm getting a lot of more answers.
Bangladesh.
Great. Ankit, Bangladesh is correct. Anyone else give any other answer? Alfia, Bhutan is correct. Yes, Myanmar is correct, Khadija. Anyone else? All these answers that you all have given are correct. You all have basically covered everything. Yeah, Nepal. Nepal, I would consider north. Could you tell me south? I think south answer is quite simple. Country to the south. Yes.
Sri Lanka.
Yes, very good. Sri Lanka, very simple. This is giving us an idea where the country is. Now, oceans and seas. To the west of India, what do you find?
Arabia Sea.
Yes, Arabian Sea to the west of India, correct. I asked you to the north. What ocean or sea do you find to the north? Looking at this map. Yes, there is no ocean or sea to the north, right? That is the correct answer. You don't have to go and find one ocean and sea. In this map, there is no ocean or sea to the north. We have land more and more land to the north, immediately to the north of India. Okay. All right. So we've got a rough idea of India's map and areas around India. That tells us location. Let's come a little bit to the extent. Can you all please type in the chat and recall what is the meaning of extent?
Area.
Okay. And can some other people recall what I typed, what I showed you on the screen? Area covered by something. What was the other two things I also put down? I put down two more things when I showed you the slide, if you all can recall that. Great. From where to where, or in Hindi, kahan se kahan tak. Okay. Now, everyone, this is the little bit tricky part in this chapter. Okay. You all have very easily identified location, countries around, oceans around. You will manage that fine. This can be a little tricky. So I'd like everyone to pay attention to it very clearly. Again, I'm going to come back to one basic thing. What y'all are seeing on screen, this is your prime meridian. Everyone clear about that? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Showing on the screen. Now, this is 0 degrees. Okay, this is 0 degrees. Now, on the right side, I have east. On the left side, I have west. Please just listen very carefully. Okay, on the right, I have east. On the left, I have west. I will have 1 degree east. Then I will have 2 degrees east, 3 degrees east, 4 degrees east, 5 degrees east, and I'll keep going this way to 180 degrees east, right? If I'm going to the left, which is west, I will have, so I have 0 degree prime meridian. Then I have 1 degree west, 2 degree west, 3 degree west, 4 degree west, and I'll keep going this way till I reach 180 degree, which will be at the other side. Okay, very important to understand. If I look at the equator, which is the sleeping line, the latitude, 0 degrees equator marks the 0 degrees in the middle of the earth. If I go up, I'm going north. If I go down, I'm going south. So I'll have a 1 degree north, 2 degree north, 3 degree north, and keep going this way until 90 degree north. From 0 degrees, if I go down or south, I will go 1 degree south, 2 degrees south, 3 degrees south, 4 degrees south, and I'll keep going down. Okay, so we keep counting in that way as we keep going away from it. All right, now we need to know the extent of India. Okay, we need to know the extent of India. For this, that means we need to know India ka jo land hai, the country of India, this land, this area goes from where to where. Kahan se kahan tak this land is there on our earth. Okay, we will use latitude and longitude because remember you all said that latitude and longitude will give me exact point, right? It will give me the exact point. So I will use latitude and longitude to know कि India नीचे से ऊपर तक, south से north तक कहां से कहां तक है, and west से east तक कहां से कहां तक है. I will use my latitude and longitude. Okay, now this can be tricky, so please pay attention. I will try and go slow so that we understand very clearly. Okay, so the first thing that I am going to show you on the screen is latitudinal extent. Quickly in the chat, I would request you all for now not to use the mic because I would like to see everyone's answers, as many people as possible. So in the chat, when I say latitude, latitude is dividing the earth into north-south or east-west. Can you please tell me, are latitudes dividing the earth into north-south or east-west? Please tell me in the chat. Okay, Chand, Khadija have given me their answer. Waiting for others. Prachi has given her answer. Aarti has given her answer. I will tell you all whether you all are correct or not. Just let me wait for some more. So I'm repeating my question. Latitudes latitudes are dividing the earth into north and south or east and west? Which one? नॉर्थ साउथ के डिवीजन में डिवाइड हो रहा है लैटिट्यूड की वजह से या ईस्ट वेस्ट? Okay, anyone else would like to answer? Answer. If it's wrong, it's wrong. No worries. We'll learn this is the only way to learn. Thank you, Alfia, for sharing your answer. Okay. All right. Most of y'all are correct. Most of y'all are correct. Latitudinal extent divides the earth. So imagine this is your latitude. It divides the earth into north and south. Okay, Aarti? It divides the earth into north and south. Right? So now to find out India ka north or south, the north and south, what is the area covered by India? From the north to the south, we need to use the latitudinal extent. Now, on my screen, you will see something which says northernmost point. First, I'd like someone to explain to me, what do you mean by northernmost point? What do you mean by northernmost point? Anyone? What is northernmost point? Okay, Prachi says point at the north. You're almost correct. If I'm saying northernmost point, what would that mean? You're almost correct. The extent of the country towards the north? Yes, that's correct. If you can try and explain to me in the most simple way, what would that be, Khadija, if you can try? If I'm saying the northernmost point, starting, Prachi says starting point at north for a country. Okay, I get what you mean. Point on the northern part. So when I'm saying northernmost point, I mean सबसे north में जो India का point है, that is the northernmost point. Okay, I'm repeating this sentence. सबसे north में जो India का point है, that is the northernmost point. Can you give me a reaction to let me know you understand this? What do you mean by northernmost point? Yes, I got a thumbs up from 2 people. Okay, Aarti, thank you. Northernmost point means सबसे north में जो point है India का, that is your northernmost point. Now on the right, you will see 37 degrees in 6 minutes. Now in numbers, 1 or 2 के बीच में भी numbers हैं. I'm sure in maths you have learned 1, 2, 3. We know these normal numbers, but इनके बीच में भी, between these there are also numbers which you all show with decimals. The same way, when you have latitudes and longitudes, that dash 6 or dash, we say 6 minutes. It's a way of showing decimal. मतलब एक longitude और दूसरे longitude के बीच में भी जगह है. So to mark that point. Now, northernmost point in India is at 37 degrees north. Let's look at the map. I'm going to show you the map. The northernmost point in India. Okay. Can you tell me where, which area is it? Northernmost point in India. Which area is it? Which area do you see? Northernmost point. Just tell me an area. An area will do. Yes, correct, correct. Yes, so if you look at this area, Jammu and Kashmir, इससे ऊपर तो हम लोग इंडिया के बाहर जा रहे हैं. We want to know India का northernmost point. And this point, अगर आप side में, you can see, can everyone just confirm with me? Are you able to see one line of latitude जो Jammu and Kashmir के through जा रहा है? Okay, I'm getting thumbs ups. Yes, one line of latitude जो Jammu and Kashmir के through जा रहा है, which is not Jammu and Kashmir anymore. That line is saying 36 degrees north. Yes, everyone can see 36 degrees north over here on the side. Could you just confirm? Okay, any more thumbs ups? Yeah. But India का northernmost point उससे थोड़ा ऊपर है. That is over here. Okay, so roughly India's northernmost point comes to 37 degrees. All right. You can remember it as 37 degrees and you see an N over here. What is that N? What is that N? North, right? That N is north. Okay, great. Now we come to India's southernmost point. Same logic, all right? Same logic. India's southernmost point, if I look at this map and scroll it down, can you guys tell me roughly which latitude are you seeing that is going over India's southernmost point? India's southernmost point, which latitude? Okay, Prachi, thank you for your answer. Yes, Chand, you're saying Indira Point. Indira Point is correct. Can you tell me around which latitude? Can you give me the number? So you'll have to look at that line and around roughly which latitude can we talk about? Yes, Khadija, thank you for your answer. There is one line here that you all are following. Yeah. Yes, Chand, you've got it correct. Anyone else? I'm talking about the southernmost point in India, and we are talking about the mainland India. This you will learn soon. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so can you all just confirm where my cursor is, where this arrow is? Can you see the line? There is one latitude that's going around here. Okay, I've got one thumbs up. Can you all see this line? This is the southernmost part. Okay, now if I see on the side ki ye value kitna hai, it is 8 degrees. All right, so around the 8-degree latitude is where the southernmost point is. Around 8-degree latitude is where the southernmost point is. Okay, everyone fine till here? So we know कि एकदम north में क्या latitude है India का last point, if I say, and right at the bottom, right in the south, what is the last latitude? Are we being able to sort of follow latitudinal extent? कहाँ से कहाँ तक? 37 degrees north से 8 degrees north तक. Right? I got some thumbs ups here. Okay. Anyone has any question? Any confusion? Okay. Thank you, Khadija, for pointing that out. So Khadija has raised one question, which I'm anyway going to discuss, but she says, and everyone, I want you all to listen to this carefully. Khadija says that over here, northernmost point का हमने denote किया है N के साथ, 37 degrees north. Southernmost point 8 degrees, but I have written N. Southernmost point के लिए, why are we writing N is Khadija's question. Khadija says it should be S. क्योंकि southernmost point है, तो south होगा. Okay, and yes, Prachi has given an answer. Good job, Prachi. So I will come to that explanation. Okay, Khadija. So if I don't explain this, you will remind me. And Prachi, if I don't use your answer, you will remind me. Let me quickly do the east and west, and then we will deal with it together. Okay. Why Khadija is saying southernmost point hai, so why are we writing north? Yes, Chan, you're also correct. Now, let's move ahead and I'll come back to Khadija's point, which is a valid point. The longitudinal extent. Okay. Longitude means your standing lines or your vertical lines. Quickly in the chat box, can you all tell me which is the important longitudinal line? 0 degree longitudinal line kaun sa hai? Longitudinal, Khadija, not latitude. Yes, Prachi. Which is the 0 degree? Correct, correct, correct. Prime meridian, right? Prime meridian. Good job, Aarti. That's a great answer. You have answered my next question also. So prime meridian is the 0 degree for longitude. And my next question is going to be, so ye 0 degree prime meridian, what is it dividing the earth into? North, south or east, west? The prime meridian is dividing the earth into north, south or east and west. Aarti, your answer is correct. So your prime meridian line It is dividing the earth into two parts. Is it dividing it into north and south or east and west? Yes, Chanda, you're correct. Anyone else? Yeah. Yes, so as Aarti answered before I asked, your prime meridian will divide your earth into east and west. So let us see now the westernmost point. Okay, I'm going to again go to India map. All right. Khadija, we'll come to that. All right, we'll come to that. I'm going now to India map and let's look at the westernmost point. Okay. Everyone, can you all follow my arrow? Can you, 1 second, huh? Just a second. Yeah. Can you see my arrow here? Yeah. The westernmost point, can you tell me around which longitude? All right. Now we are looking at longitude. We're looking at the long lines. So you'll have to follow and see the number on top of the map. You'll have to follow the lines close to this area and follow the line, as you can see this line, and go to the top of the map. Yes, I've got one answer. Good. You're giving me a rough idea. It might not be exact. Can everyone see this? This is the westernmost point. Yeah, can you just let me know as a thumbs up reaction? Can you all see this? Great. Yeah. So now, which longitude? Yes, I'm getting more answers for the longitude, correct? So this line, can everyone see this line over here? 68 degrees. Yes, can we see this line? The 68-degree line? Yes or no? Thumbs up or not? Yeah, Chanda, you're correct. So this line we can see going where it's around, it's roughly close to the western. This is the westernmost point. इससे और west में जाऊंगा तो मैं इंडिया में नहीं हूं, right? So that's why if you see over here, westernmost point around 68 degrees, but here I have written E. So Khadija, same question might come. I am looking for westernmost point. Why is there E? We will come to this thing. We will clear this out together. All right, we'll clear this out together. Some of you have already given me the reason in the chat. कि westernmost सबसे west point मैं निकाल रहा हूँ, फिर भी I'm writing E. We'll come to that. Okay, let's see the easternmost point. Okay, looking at the map, can you all tell me roughly? I will not help you all now. Easternmost point, roughly, can you locate which longitude can you look at, which is going through that area? Look at the map, easternmost point. Okay, Chanda is guessing around 100. Not bad. That means you're thinking in the correct way. Anyone else? Looking at the easternmost point. Okay. Okay. Khadija says around roughly, she's giving me between 96 and 100. Quickly, everyone, can you all confirm where my arrow is? Over here. Okay. Getting some confirmations. I can, if I can get more people. Yes, Chand, you're thinking in the right way. All right. So this area, yes, Aarti, where it says Arunachal Pradesh. Can everyone see Arunachal Pradesh? Can you let me know? Yes, Chanda, correct. Yes, I'm getting some thumbs ups, 2 thumbs ups here. Yes, Chand. All right. So Arunachal Pradesh, this would be the easternmost point. And now can everyone see this 96-degree longitude? There is one 96-degree longitude. Could you confirm that you all can see this? So our country of India extends a little more than that to the east. So 96 degrees ke upar hi hoga, little bit more than 96 degrees, right? So which is why if you see on the screen, I have given here 97 degrees east. Okay. What you see on the screen right now, everyone, you see 4 points of information. These are giving me the extent of India. Okay, these are telling me कहां से कहां तक हमारा country area cover कर रहा है. Okay, everyone understood this statement that I just made? Kahan se kahan tak India is taking up area in the world. These points give us the exact information. Now let's come to the question that Khadija had. All right, she had a question. Why do we have N? N is north. Southernmost point के लिए हमने N क्यों कहा? Easternmost point के लिए वेस्टर्न मोस्ट पॉइंट के लिए हमने ई क्यों लिखा है? राइट, इफ यू सी ओवर हियर वेस्टर्न मोस्ट पॉइंट ई लिख रहा हूं, सदर्न मोस्ट पॉइंट एन लिख रहा हूं. नाउ सम ऑफ यू ऑल हैव गिवन मी द करेक्ट आंसर, सो लेट मी एक्सप्लेन दिस फॉर एवरीवन एल्स. ओके, यस चांद, yes Chan, you're correct. So now everyone just read the statement that I have written at the bottom. I am going to say something. I am going to make one statement. You will need to tell me, am I correct or am I wrong? Okay, you're going to tell me, am I correct or am I wrong? Okay, so my first statement, the entire country of India is in the northern hemisphere. Am I correct or am I wrong? Please let me know in the chat. The entire country of India is in the northern hemisphere. Okay, Khadija has replied to me. Yes, Prachi, your reason is correct. I'm waiting for others. I'm repeating my statement. India का पूरा area northern hemisphere में है. Am I right or am I wrong? Please let me know in the chat. Yes, Shraddha, you are also correct. Muskan, you're correct. Yes, Chan. So if you notice, the full country of India is in the northern hemisphere. अगर हम पूरा world के हिसाब से देखें, so India full country is in the northern hemisphere, right? That's why in the last slide you will see that India का जो southern most point है, अगर पूरा India northern hemisphere में है, तो इंडिया का सबसे साउथ वाला पॉइंट भी नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में होगा. Yes, can you all confirm if you all are following me? I'm repeating what I just said. अगर पूरा इंडिया नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में है, तो इंडिया का सदर्न मोस्ट पॉइंट भी नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में होगा. Yes, चंदा. Okay, so if I look at this map right now, इंडिया का सदर्न मोस्ट पॉइंट भी नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में ही है. That's why we will write N. Khadija, could you let me know if you are understanding what I have just explained? Yes, because the entire country is in the northern hemisphere. The country's southernmost point is also in the northern hemisphere. So now, Khadija, can you explain to me with this statement on the screen? Entire country of India is in the eastern hemisphere. Are we all agreeing to that? Entire country of India is in the eastern hemisphere. I'm waiting for other people to let me know. Full India is in the eastern hemisphere. Yes, so far I am correct. So now Khadija, can you give me the reason कि India का westernmost point भी E के साथ क्यों denote किया जाता है? Khadija, if you want, you can unmute yourself also. Great. Because the full country, Khadija has answered, the full country of India is in the eastern hemisphere. Pura India eastern hemisphere mein hai. Right? Yes, Sahil, please continue your answer. Pura country eastern hemisphere mein hai. So obviously, India का जो western point है, वो भी world के eastern hemisphere में होगा. That's why if you saw this, यहाँ पे western most point के लिए भी E mark किया जाता है. Okay, Can everyone just let me know? Are you clear about this? Those who are being able to, yes, Siddharth sir. Siddharth sir for that connection. So as Siddharth sir said, connecting it to your x-axis and y-axis on a graph, it gives in coordinate geometry, it's giving us, it decides for us what are the hemispheres, and so it decides for us ki any point on the earth, doesn't matter which angle where we see it from, any point on the earth, where is its position on the earth? Is it in the eastern hemisphere, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere? That is fixed. Okay. So what we just did here is we figured out the extent of India on the Earth's surface. Okay, from where to where does it extend? All right. So what we would ideally do, Siddharth sir, I would like your suggestion on this, is that we would do this for Brazil now. Would we, since it's 9:56, do I continue with it, or do we do that on their own or later?
Some of the students have some sessions starting at 10. So my sincere, at least for today, I would request you to let us wind up at a logical point. Try wind up at 10, and this can be done as homework, and you can look at the work in the next class.
Perfect, perfect. So we will get done definitely then by 10. So everyone, what we've done right now is we have figured out how to understand the location of and extent of India. Okay. Now, because we spent so much time doing it for India, you will not, if you've understood how to think about this, yaad to aap kar loge, you will remember these things. That is not the challenge. If you have understood how to think about this, what is the logic behind it, we will be easily able to do it now for Brazil. So you will be doing this on your own. The same thing you will try and figure out for Brazil. All right. And I will follow up with your work with that. Okay. What Siddharth sir will also be sending you is, I have made this fact sheet. Can everyone please confirm you can see it on your screen? Yes, thank you. So it is all the information we have gone through. You will see it over here. My suggestion to all of you is all of this information should be in your notebook. And I would write it down in a table format. So if you all can see my notebook here, I would have India, I would have Brazil, and write the information down. My reason for that is seeing both together when you study will help you remember it in a better way, because our full textbook, remember I told you all, is about comparison. So it is best for us to write our information in that format. Okay, so my suggestion would be to do that. And please complete that. Siddharth sir will also be sending you some questions, and I will follow up with you all to complete those questions. Siddharth sir, could you also send them the form, because they have all the prerequisite knowledge right now to be able to answer that form, even if we haven't done for Brazil. So my suggestion would be to still send that form if they could answer that sometime today, whenever they are free. Will that be possible? Is Siddharth sir here?
I'm here. I'm doing it. Just hang on.
Okay. Take it. Great. So yes. So I'll just summarize then quickly. I'll go back right in the beginning, and we will conclude because you all have more to do. Okay. As I said, this chapter I was going to do 4 parts. The third and fourth part are information points which are given in the fact sheet. Location and extent we have figured out for India. You will try and figure that out for Brazil, and I will follow up and help you out with that once more. All right. I would end here. I will pause here. Thank you so much. I hope you all have been able to understand what I've been teaching, and we will continue next. I don't want to spill over to the next class. So that's it. I will pause here.
Thank you, Aditya. Students, I have sent you, in addition to the map of India, I have sent you the fact sheet that Aditya sir explained to you. I have sent you the question bank that Aditya sir mentioned to you. And I've also sent you a link to a Google form that you need to complete today. And there I have sent you a map of the Brazil, country Brazil, just like the map for India that I have sent. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Aditya. You will be able to teach again on Saturday?